Good evening, it is 6 p.m. It is November the 19th, and this is our regularly scheduled board meeting. I'm calling it to order. You all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance in the back corner.
Back in the corner. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can have a roll call, starting with
Terry Lincoln.
Logan Johnston.
Scott McVeigh.
Beverly Fickus. Pam Beaver.
Dale Mancino.
Emmeline King. Shereen Erline.
All right, very good. It is open time now. Anybody who wants to address the board on anything that is not in the agenda, your time is now. If you'll please step up to the podium. If it's on the agenda, you wait until it comes up.
It's not on the agenda.
Then
Not aware of it.
go right ahead.
Mr. McVeigh, Mr. Logan Johnson, Pam Beaver, Beverly Fickles or Fickle?
There's no L and there's no R. There's no R in that name.
I've been murdered just like my name. Terry Lincoln and Mr. Dale Mancino.
Yes, sir.
Okay, general manager. My name is Joseph Jives. I live at 17170 Olinda Road in Anderson, California. I lived in Happy Valley area for the last 50 years and have been a customer of Clear Creek Community Services. I have known some of the board members, chairs, vice president, and directors through the years, not on personal level, but as friends, neighbors, and volunteers around the community. I'm speaking to this board meeting to address an issue that I've noticed at a recent repair on Linda Road, just south of Triple S. The leak occurred between two driveways, 5876 and 5894, at the top of the hill coming in this direction. The repair lasted several days and outside contractors needed to be called in. The problem happened after 3 loads of clear rock as needed to finish the repair or backfill was needed to use the backfill. I don't know if there were 3 types of rock or if 3 sites of the rock were just needed. 2 piles were dropped just off the driveway in the front of address 5876. The other delivery was dropped further south on the other end of the property owner's front lawn. During cleanup of the 2 gravel piles in the driveway fell far short of anything needed to make the owner able to mow his front lawn again in the future. The last pile, the gravel clearing cleanup was backdragged from the south side of the site to the north end, almost to the adjacent piles. And close to the owner's driveway. Fell far short of any possibility of the owner ever mowing his front lawn again because of the gravel present on his front lawn. When I first noticed the lack of effort in addressing the owner's front lawn, I stopped to talk to the owner and suggested that he call Clear Creek Community Service District and ask that they clean up the site some more and give him back his front lawn. After talking to him a while, and noticing that he had a little bit of speech inability, I suggested I would call and help him out with the foreman, supervisor, and the new general manager. The lack of spoils cleanup and the subsequent spreading of the second pile across the south part of the lawn makes it almost impossible for the owner to keep his front lawn looking good and properly mowed. I feel part of this problem was compounded by the change in managers the district was going through at the time of the repair. And the reason I find this incident troubling is that I own property in this district, and I feel returning the site back to the owner in such a condition is not in the best interest of the district, the owner, or the community. I thank you for your time and attention to this matter. Thank you.
One question, if you could please, do you know the date of that repair?
And you know, that's one thing I neglected to really research. I started this a while back, and it's taken me time to get, I couldn't quite put it together for the last month's meeting, but it's been almost 2 months ago. It was a pretty big repair. Like I said, they had outside contractors,
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it was, came in, and it was a deep hole. I think that's one of the reasons why they brought the outside contractors in. But as far as the exact date, I don't know. I'm sure it'll show up on your records.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think we can.
Yeah,
You look into
I
it.
think I spoke to you once. I think you came in one time. I
Yes,
spoke to you.
yes, I came in to talk just to the front desk, and they
Right.
went back and got you. Congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So with this job in particular, I'm not familiar of when this repair was done, but I did speak to you about the rock and whatnot. And our supervisor, Morgan, she was made aware, and she actually made contact with the homeowner, and they said they were fine with what was going on there. They looked at it, they said there's no issues, nothing of that sort.
That was relayed to me. I talked to a young lady about it.
From Clear Creek,
I don't know.
One of the staff here?
maybe staff, or
The supervisor, I think.
that could have been
I've
Morgan,
seen her
yes.
out in the field, and I talked to her to point out some valve on my property. I live
Okay.
on the corner lot. I understand that, and I appreciate that,
Mhm.
but I feel that the owner had a little difficulty, like I said, with his speaking. And I don't know how severe that problem was. But
Sure.
I'm under the inclination that maybe he was taken advantage of. I mean,
Okay.
I've looked at other sites, I drove around, I took a couple pictures.
Mhm.
We've had any number of sites down on the Linda Road, the board will know, it's been torn up, and over on Flowers. But I just recently, the other day, went over to Flowers, but I couldn't pinpoint the site. I think I have it in mind, but I wasn't sure. So I think the district can do a better job of turning the property back. I know it's been done in the past.
Sure.
I looked at one down the road on the Linda Road, and it was in basically, I guess, the right of way, and it was on the north side of the Linda Road, and other than a couple corals floating around all over the place, it was on the right of way. But this gentleman, I think could use some help, and I think if the district could accommodate him with one or two guys on a slow day. I know it hasn't been slow.
Sure.
To help them clean it up a little bit more.
Yeah,
So we can
absolutely.
move on. I mean, we all know what it's like to run over, or some of us know what it's like to run over your gravel driveway when you have the mower deck too low.
Right.
This is gonna be an impossibility for that gentleman and family.
Yeah, and speaking on that, I believe she spoke to his wife or caretaker, whoever that was there that answered the phone. It was not him. So I don't think, as you said, he was taken advantage of. I don't think that's correct because
Well, that's probably the wrong word I used. I don't mean to refer to that.
No.
That's what I said. I just think that maybe he wasn't as forceful as some of the public would be. Because he was very timid, and as soon as I noticed that, that's when I said I would take the issue and try to bring it before the committee.
Sure, and that's the other thing is we spoke to them and they were okay with the gravel. That's the thing. If they requested that we bring dirt or whatever, we could accommodate that. But they didn't want to go down that route as far as what I was told from the supervisor here. And I'm more than willing to
I worked in construction for a number of years.
Sure.
I'm quite familiar with what a backhoe can do.
Absolutely.
Other than back dragging a pile of gravel, I know it can scoop it up and dig a hole and bury it with some of the native soil. With that said, I don't want to beat this to death. I have to couch myself because I get too involved sometimes with some of these issues. The last thing I like to bring up as a vet, that is, I feel we shouldn't have to turn around or salute the American flag. It should be up over here. And the California state flag. We're all United States citizens, and we're all Californians, I think.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. If the board doesn't mind, can you look into that a little more?
Absolutely.
Is it, we purchased the gravel, so a company delivered it. Did they deliver it in the wrong place? So is there liability for that?
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't know if I was here when this repair was made specifically. I think this was after the fact. So
Yes, Jim.
I believe you.
yeah, if it was during gym, I'm more than happy to get dirt out there and pretty it up and make it so that it's feasible for the customer. Absolutely.
Well, we know, all of us know that when Morgan took the position over a year ago, that she went back to every single site that we have done
Right.
and fixed them and made
Absolutely.
them nice. So, I personally don't believe that she left it in a state
No.
that they weren't happy with.
And I can attest to that. I spoke to Morgan specifically about this site and told her to go out there and check it, talk to the customer and make it, good for them. But if that entails getting soil and more dirt out there or more work, then we're willing to do that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else, any comments? Open time, here's your chance. All right, then we'll move on with the consent agenda. Do we have any corrections to minutes or questions on bills paid or activity report?
I had one question on the profit and loss for October.
I do have a few myself. Anybody else have questions on the
I have,
profit loss?
I have, no, not the profit loss, I had some
Budget
questions
to actual?
on, yeah.
Yeah, I do too. If it's the board's interest, we could pull out those two items for further discussion and dispense with the consent agenda as posted, unless there are corrections or something else on the bills paid or the minutes from the meetings. Okay, if it's the board's pleasure, I'd entertain a motion to do such.
I move to approve the consent agenda with the removal of the P&L and budget to actual until December.
No, we can approve those. on that. And then pull the other two out and discuss them
Okay.
separately.
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I need a motion. Did we just approve, I think?
I think we
the
approved.
consent agenda, so.
I think Emily's gonna have to fix that motion, but we did approve it.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with the activity report, profit loss.
The only question I had, well, there was, I think on that was the PG&E bill, and that was coded wrong.
Well, always it's combined, the statement's combined with well number 3. Oak Street and well number 3 are combined. So
Okay,
it's on the same PG&E statement, so it's always, when I went back, it was on well number 3. So from this point on, I split it up.
oh, so it wasn't attributed to the plant in any way?
No.
Perfect, okay.
Anything else on the P&L? No? I would like to comment that the revenue was very good. We had a 98.2% collection on the base rate. And then on the ag water and some of the other things, we just topped 100%. So I want to give kudos to the staff for a job well done. And then I wanted to go down to on the last page of it, the balances. It's very difficult for the board and the community to understand what the position of the district is financially when the grant monies are kind of skewing it greatly. I'm sure that we did not have a $1.5 million profit for the month of October. And
You're looking at the whole,
the bottom line,
Oh, okay.
page 3. Okay,
Mhm.
so I know I've addressed this before, but is there some way of pulling that out and showing a true monthly so that we don't have the grant interfering with it?
Well, let me look at that. I know that we received several deposits this last month.
It looks like one was for 449,000, and then the one on line 80,010 is listed as other, and that's 986,000 plus. And I was curious also about the
There
other.
were 2.
Okay,
So I can go back and give you a number, but I'd have to go back and look in QuickBooks.
all right. I'm also looking at the engineering cost of 32,000 plus, which is probably an expense in the grant, but the interest on the RCAC loan for the backwash pond really is an expense that the district eats and is not reimbursable by the grant. And if there's some way of breaking that out so we get a true picture.
Okay.
Was that for
Bless you.
the whole grant, that 32,000, or was that just for the month?
That
It's
is,
listed under grants.
it's the
So-
backwash pond grant, and then
That's
it's
the
separate
interest,
from the interest. No, the interest
Oh.
is separate from the grant,
Correct.
so we pay
It's
on
not
the
reimbursable.
Right.
Yeah,
So if there's some way of breaking that out, so the board members and the community have a truer picture of how we stand financially, that would be greatly
okay.
appreciated.
Absolutely.
Let me write it down.
Okay,
Do you have to do that separately? You have to put it in a different, probably create an account. That's what I'll probably have to do.
okay, anything else on the P&L? No, then Director Beaver, you had something on the budget to actual.
The transaction detail by account, I
Oh.
just questioned, it says QuickBooks generated 0 account transaction info twice. I didn't understand what that meant.
Usually if there's a credit and it covers the whole invoice and it zeroes it out, QuickBooks will create a 0 on its own.
Okay.
So it automatically creates the 0.
And then further on down, it says ACWA, JPIA final claim. So are we done with that now?
I'm waiting for her to send me an official letter. And so I just talked to her yesterday. So Shelley from JPIA is sending me a letter as soon as, because there's a third-party insurance company that they received the check, so she's gonna get a letter from them, and then it's closed out.
And we still have about, what, 18,000 left in that account?
Yes.
Excellent.
Super, thank you. Those were all my only questions.
Just for the community, this was part of the car fire, and we received a settlement from our insurance to do some repairs and things. And we've been holding it in a restricted reserve account. And the 160,000 was just giving it back to them. But I understand you did quite a good job in whittling that down.
Thank you.
Oh, I did have one other question.
Go ahead.
Office front parking lot seal coating and stripping. Did they kill the grass first, or did they pour grass? The reason I ask is you go out there and the grass is starting to go through the cracks already.
Really?
Really? I didn't see
Wow.
that. Yeah, they should have.
They used
Well,
a wire
They,
brush.
yeah,
No,
they cut it all
no
through, but
chemical.
I don't know if they poisoned it or whatnot. I'm not 100%
Well,
sure, to be honest.
The grass is coming through the
They're,
cracks.
they're already due to come back to fix a couple things, so I'll include
There's
that.
a lot of cracks that
Yeah.
have grass growing through.
Gotcha, okay.
Excellent. Anything on the budget to actual?
The only question I had on the budget to actuals is, it doesn't tell me, it says July 2025 to June of 2026. I didn't know what the actuals were. Was it July through October, July through November 10th? So that would be helpful to have on that report.
I did it that way because it shows you the total budget for the year,
Correct, which I love.
but it
Yeah.
won't show it if I go month to month. So this is year-to-date 11/12.
Well, you went to 11/12.
Yeah.
See, but we didn't know that.
Yeah.
See? So is there a way to put an extra line in there?
It's right up on the top, left corner there, it says 11/12/2025.
Probably when it was
53
3
a.m.
Oh,
If I do it I can do it month to month, but it'll show you the budget for the month, not the year.
yeah, no, I like the whole year budget there,
I
so
like
you,
to see it
yeah.
too, yeah.
But it would be nice if we could have it on a monthly basis and not a 3.5 months, because that skews the percentages of the fiscal budget,
Right.
you know, which I
So-
didn't
so
pay
you're-
attention. I was hoping it was the first quarter.
Mhm.
Okay,
I
so
can
that
do
kind
it
of
like
throws me
that.
off a
I
little
can
bit.
actually export it into an Excel spreadsheet and put the date on it for you.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can see what the date is.
Okay.
And could you print it bigger?
I have been trying to do that. I exported it into a PDF and everything to see if I could get it to print bigger, and it won't.
Yeah.
But I'll keep working on it.
See
It
what we
takes
can do.
good lighting and a
My
magnifying
magnifying
glass.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to wear my reading glasses.
My glasses don't even make it big enough.
The only way to
I'll
really
work
look
on
at
it.
it is to open it up as a PDF. and
Yeah.
Just magnify and slide
And
across.
slide across. You have questions?
Yeah, I have some budgetary questions, but
Go ahead.
we made the budget, we approved the budget. Did Jim pad the budget pretty aggressively in
In
certain
what-
areas?
For
Because
what?
We're halfway through the year, just
No,
right
we're
off.
quarter through the year. July, August, September.
Is
Oh,
this,
no, and a third.
Third.
well, this,
October.
this is July to November, 11/12. So we're
Right, so
over
you're
for
12 days
the
past.
fiscal year. There's only 7 months left in the fiscal year
Right.
Yeah.
from this data, right?
It's 7.5, but you're right.
Okay, so maybe we're not as aggressive as I thought we were on this, but, you know, we're showing that just in terms of base rate charges on the actual compared to budget, we're a third of what the budget is based, right, and that's
And
kind of
I
a head
have,
scratcher.
that listed here too. If we went with a full 3 month, we'd have collected 457,000 in base rate. And it was, but we're actually running through November, so it's actually 4 months. We're at about 152,000 and change per month if we collect 100%. So if you add 152 to it, then we're almost,
Give or take.
we're right at about
Right.
98% collected through that period.
Okay.
Depending on, well, and the bills only come out the first week of November. I don't know how many people have paid
So
already.
we are
for
just
November.
looking at data.
We're
for
looking
October.
at,
Yeah.
data that's a little skewed is all.
but I agree with you that we're trending high in some of the areas, and the expenses. Like
Yes.
repairs and maintenance was trending high, and also the PG&E was trending higher than what we had budgeted for.
So far this year, we've been blessed with a lot of breaks.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
where that's coming from.
Yeah.
And I think, with the contractors that we used previously, that, expedited the cost quite a bit. So we haven't used one since. So
That's good.
it's gonna move forward that way also.
Anybody else? Anything on this? I do have a few things. I was looking at, boy, it's tiny. Line 13,000, the designated revenues, non-op. And those are skewed high also, except for the fact that it's 4+ months. So it may not be that much. But if we go down to the reserves, I'm showing nothing actually in the reserves. Down to the 14,000, the reserves, just below that, so. The Win Act, there should be some reserves.
Yeah.
We usually keep some in, then once a year transfer to the general
Oh.
fund. And then the state loan reserve, the penalty reserves, I know there's money in those.
I didn't know that there was a transfer that went into this.
And, well, there should be an annual one from the Win Act reserves. We collect about 58,000 a year.
Okay,
And we approved a transfer, I think 50 or 55 annually to
okay,
go into it. So there should be reserves listed there.
okay.
We borrowed money from the general fund
Mhm.
to pay off the Win Act, which guaranteed us money from the government,
Well, they guaranteed us the full allotment.
the full allotment.
Okay,
And that way, there's nothing they can do about it. They can't say, well, we can't have it anymore.
okay,
So, but we had, in order to do that, we had to borrow money from the general fund, because we did not have enough in the Win Act.
okay,
So we're paying ourselves back.
all right.
It just goes in different little cubbyhole.
Right. Okay, so that one's done, that's.
So we're not putting like 4.1% into the reserves and 1.8
that
into
is-
another reserve?
Not that I know of, I haven't seen
No.
that.
We're supposed to.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. Is it
So,
being, well, is it, you go ahead. I'm interrupting, my apologies.
no, I don't know which ones they are, but you would have to go
I
into this.
can go back and research it.
Just look in the study, the one that we passed, when we passed the last Prop 218.
Okay,
It says in there, 4.1 goes to like capital improvements and 1.8
Okay.
goes to whatever.
okay.
Okay. And then, I don't know how the board feels. Do we want to see that done monthly or quarterly?
What done?
The money put into those reserves? Does it matter?
Whatever's easiest on the bookkeeper.
It's whatever you
opinion?
want to do.
Probably more frequent.
Monthly would probably.
Monthly.
Yeah.
Might be easier
Quarterly
to
is
do
fine.
it monthly.
Monthly.
She's monthly, she wants monthly.
All right,
Fine
that's
with
fine.
that.
Monthly, okay.
Okay. Going down to distribution, 40,000. I looked carefully in spite of how tiny it is, and I saw nothing under its distribution for O&M or supplies for that 4+ month time frame.
In distribution?
Yeah, in
They've used a
distribution.
lot of O and M, and so then,
But I don't
What
see
we've
a
been
category
doing
for it.
40400.
where is it at?
Gotta go to the
The number.
40400.
I don't
To the
have
bottom
four.
of the page.
Takes me a minute.
Well, mine's on a different page.
That's actually utilities.
Oh, right here.
Repairs and O&M.
So
For distribution.
40400.
40.
40450 is the repair and maintenance O&M budget. It's
I'm not
sizable.
seeing that. 40400.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
O&M, repair and maintenance. Is that all zeros? Mine are all zeros?
No, mine,
Repair, maintenance, above it,
Oh,
other,
there's it.
at 138,000?
$139,593.61.
Yeah, I see that.
And then below there's a secondary line for other repair and
Oh,
maintenance.
it's a
O&M.
duplicate.
Okay. That's part of the problem of being so
Yeah.
small.
We'll get rid of that.
Okay. And
Year
that-
to date, it's 139,593.61.
At 60,
It's
what,
high.
66% of the annual budget?
It's
Yep.
high because there were a lot of leaks.
It was the major, it was
And
the
so-
major ones with the contractors,
Right,
which we're not using now.
I understand that.
I started actually posting in QuickBooks each address for the O&M so we'd know where the leaks were and what,
Okay,
yeah.
very good. I think that's something we're gonna have to address in January with our budget review.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are supplies in there?
Can I interrupt just a
You
second?
betcha.
So when we do in January, we're going to have a 6-month review, Shereen. Can we have it from July 1st through December 31st?
Mhm.
So we'll have a full 6 months then? Okay.
Yes, we can do
All right.
that.
Did anybody see supplies that are usually there? That's the piping and things?
things.
I don't
There's
see that
inventory
either.
and
I see
tools.
Tools.
Yeah.
Inventory and tools, is that what you're referring to?
Oh, is that listed there? I
Mhm.
thought we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
breaking those out separate.
40430.
Right. That seems low, $6,700 for all those leaks.
That's not for the leaks are under the O&M.
Right, but the piping,
Repairs.
when we had to restock inventory and whatnot?
Yeah, that would be, so those, when we get the parts and everything that we use, we put that under repair and maintenance, under O&M. And then the tools, inventory and tools are just things that we keep on inventory at all times. When we use them for a job, say we use,
Fittings, lengths of pipe.
exactly, say
Right,
$5,000 worth of stuff.
okay.
We bill that to the O&M,
Is there
because
some
that
way-
budget's way bigger.
I understand that.
Yeah, so if we build it and put it under inventory and tools, it would be shot.
No, I understand.
Yeah, so that's why
That's
it's so
just a
low.
way of budgeting it. Can we break the tools out separately?
Yeah,
Okay?
Yep.
Because we track the tools in some other areas separately.
right.
So I think it'd be good to track that as
I
a
think,
budget item also.
I think the only reason it's the way it is because that when we do inventory, say get a shovel or a hammer, we consider that inventory as well, you know, tools.
Really?
We do.
Because that stuff is
Okay.
just inventory and tools. It's not any of the parts that we're using for the repairs.
Okay, so that's a better understanding then of how you're listing it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Then, let's go, moving back to page 3, under customer accounts and billing, the billing supplies and materials, we're at over 61% of the annual budget for a third of the year.
Give us the line item.
That's a good
Please.
question. 53025? It's so small, I should have brought a magnifying glass. We're at 10,404 and an annual budget of just 17,000. Notice postage was high also.
Correct, we just did crop reports and
Crop
remember
reports,
we
yeah.
did delinquencies.
So is this another area we may need to adjust in January then,
Definitely, yeah.
by a little
Yep.
bit? Okay, and then just the same thing down to the 70,000s, filter plant repayment reserves, all those things. Like I said before, up above in, what was it, 4,100, no, 14,000. There's nothing listed in those reserve accounts, yet there's a budget listed for them.
So, is that a transfer also?
Well, with the 1081s that we collect from the customers, a lot of those are broken out by category. So 755 to the filter plant.
Yep.
$1.88 on the WIN Act.
Something like that.
$1 for the state fund and 38 cents, I believe, the backwash fund. So there should be monies in those
So
accounts.
so does that need to be transferred over to the reserve account?
I think so.
I believe so.
Next
Okay,
time.
see, I
Yeah.
didn't.
One
know
of the
that.
problems that,
We should be, go ahead.
one of the problems that the board identified was that we weren't putting money in reserve. And we, last year, I
Okay.
think, decided we had to start reserves and we have to have them.
Okay, I just.
Identify things. They're
So
not
we-
restricted reserves, but the reserves identified for certain things.
Okay,
And the Win Act, so that we know how much we have to transfer.
okay.
But to clarify, Scott,
Go
what
ahead.
you're saying is that there should be balances in here somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should show. So in the first column here, where it's all zeros for the
Yeah, there's,
July 1 through November 12, there should be monies there because we've collected from the customers.
Right.
oh, but
so it'll be under revenue. When it gets split up,
Total revenue.
it goes into revenue, so then it'll have to be, it'll have to be transferred.
Yeah, the money's there, it's just
I know.
not transferred.
Yeah,
I know, but it makes it look like the general fund's bigger than it really is.
Sure.
okay.
And the only other thing I had was the net again. It's very deceptive. It says for that 4.5 months, we made over $1 million net.
Well, once we get the Reserve Act thing cleaned up, it'll look a little better. and
Well,
we
it's
can
also
have
the
a
grant
Yeah,
monies
it's
too,
the
that have to be
grants
pulled
too.
back out, so that we have a
So that'll
clear
be
picture.
adjusted, yeah.
Because if we're gonna make financial decisions to spend money, we really need to know where we stand.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Anybody, anything else on any of these items you pulled out? Just do that. Nothing?
Nope.
Then we'll move on.
Am I allowed to make a comment?
You absolutely can.
Okay, I just was looking through the budget for, and when we're talking about the revenue figures, and, so just for example, the filter plant repayment, the budget's 230,000. And then we're showing, you know, the monthly or the amount so far this year of 78. And then if we go over to the page 3, where we're talking about populating the reserves,
Mm-hmm.
the
Uh-huh.
budget amount is still 230,000, so those amounts, match these revenue amounts. So they're almost being like double counted, and I think a situation you might run into is if you start monthly moving those payments that are coming in down to this reserve account, it's gonna throw off what you're looking at for your budget year to date. You
Okay.
start
Oh, I
moving
see.
those
Was that
down.
the filter plant?
Yeah,
That's the
and the Win,
755.
the Win Act and everything, it's like when you're
Okay.
looking at these reserve accounts on page 3 in the 7,000s, and maybe the budget software would be something different, I'm not really familiar with those budget accounts that well, but I just would hate to see that a more confusion come up if we start moving the revenue numbers down to calculate these reserve amounts, and it's
Okay.
trying to count it in 2 places, and it's not gonna be one or the other.
I think what the problem is it was all accumulated as the year to date. And if you're saying if we started doing it now, it would look it would
Right, so it's never.
throw things off.
It wouldn't hit this 230 on either the income or the reserve.
You'd have to adjust it.
Yeah.
Actually, there's two things to look
Actually-
at there. We make semi-annual payments, so 110, 115,000 twice a year. Plus, there is a restricted reserve account of 230. It's in a CD. I believe it sits at about 285,000 right now. So there is a restricted reserve that we're required because of the loans to
Right,
hold 1 year's worth of payment.
okay,
Okay, so that's, should be at least the 230.
okay. I just would watch the interplay of those.
It-
Make adjustments.
QuickBooks will count that, so when it does get transferred over, it's gonna be replenished and transferred,
Okay.
so it should
So
be
it
fine.
shouldn't be a, should be
So it'll be
It won't be like
monitored.
a double
double count.
entry.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to 4, technology policy.
do we need to approve the consent agenda?
We did approve the consent agenda. Do we want to approve these 2 items?
I would think so.
As far as-
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's go ahead and do that. I need a motion to approve the P&L transaction detail and the budget versus actual,
I'm so
as
moved
stated.
that we approve the P&L and the budget.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Turn the time over to our general manager for our technology policy.
All right, item number 4 is for a new technology policy that we wrote up here. It's to request board approval to replace the district's existing cell phone policy with an updated and comprehensive cell phone technology and communication policy because we didn't have all those established. Just a quick background. District currently maintains a limited policy addressing the use and care of district-used cell phones. However, there's no all-encompassing technology policy that provides guidance for cybersecurity, network use, and data protection. We noticed this when we were looking through some of the SCADA information. We had IT, CompuLog is who we use, come down, and they found some sources that were questionable, so they were telling us to come up with a policy, which we wrote here, and we are looking to get that approved and adopted.
I understand that. A question for you.
Sure.
Is this something that should have been directed towards the planning and steering committee to work on?
Good question.
It's just updating an already
Yeah.
policy.
It's the policy we currently have. We're just building off of that.
Okay, I just want to follow
Sure.
protocol.
Which kind of like what we did with all the other ones, we're updating it to be current with today's standards. I like it, I think it looks good, and we got rid of some of the problems that were there before.
Yes.
Any other comments?
I have one.
Go ahead.
Sure.
So I just wondered about a liability clause, so that it states whether or not we think we need one that says we're not liable if the employee, for loss or damage to employee's cell phone.
Is that not in there? Saw
I
something
don't,
in there.
and we kind of spoke about this together, and yeah, we're considering because the employees sometimes are required to use their cell phones for communication purposes. And so we were thinking moving forward, we would have to come up with something as far as a cell phone incentive, as far as like, $50 a month that they get allotted so that it covers all of those things. Otherwise, I don't know what we can really say to them, saying, hey, you can't, you have to communicate with your own personal cell phone. And I don't know if the policy or if there's anything we can write that can state that. So there is the legality in the having them being, or us being liable. So that might be something we'd have to talk to
So
legal about.
in the meantime, this would be the best go-to.
This is
and
the
then-
best we have for
And
now.
then update it to add the liability after
Yes.
talking to legal.
Yes.
So currently, there's no cost to the district.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not true.
That's why I'm asking.
That's where the whole liability comes in.
Yeah, I understand
And-
that,
So,
but
Because we made a payment to an employee.
that's correct.
Yes.
We did.
So,
And that's why I'm bringing this up, so that we understand what we're doing.
if you want, we can have legal look at it and add those terms.
Well, if we're going to approve a change in the policy, and if it has a fiscal impact, it should be in the policy
Yeah,
somewhere.
that isn't part of it right now. This is
Okay.
just updating what we currently have. Because before this, there was just the cell phone policy and it was very bare.
So are you proposing an amendment to this policy
Yes.
after legal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Comments by Terry or Logan? Nothing?
So do we want to approve this and then do the amendment? Is that what they're asking?
That's what I'm
asking.
saying.
Do we want to do this now?
Is that what you want to do?
If you want it, if the liability aspect needs to be put in, then we'd have to put an amendment. Yes,
Or wait for that to be added to it?
yes.
Okay,
That's up to you guys.
right.
Does it do anything for you to have it approved? At this
It
moment?
covers us as far as not just cell phones. Cell phones was one part of the issue, but we didn't have anything for technology, anything for computers, software, and things like that, cybersecurity. So this implements those things in communication.
No, I see.
It's not just cell phones.
Yeah, we don't have.
We don't have
any
anything to
policy on
cover
any of that right now.
our bases right now.
Well, I think we should get it covered and then do a quick amendment. So I'm gonna move that, we, pass the cell phone technology and communication policy as written.
I'll second it.
All right, having a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay, I think we need to work it, but, the sending, so that's okay.
That's fine. Okay,
So can I ask why? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, I think from the liability standpoint, that Dale has a point. I think there's a lot more discussion that needs to go into this other than just, we're going to get cybersecurity figured out, which is critical. I agree, we should get that ironed out, and I'm glad that we did for those reasons, but this is a lot more of a discussion than what we, I think, are believing it's going to be. Because we can't put guys, or we can't put the crew down in a hole and expect them to pick up the phone and drop that phone into 3 feet of water and have that phone break. That's a personal phone on company time, on a company phone call, and not expect them to be reimbursed in some way. So to say that, yes, we're gonna put a release of liability in there where the district's not liable,
I don't think that's what he's saying.
that's not what he was saying.
Right,
That's what we were saying. That's what the board was saying.
that's what I was saying.
That's the addition that we want to see. That's not what Dale was saying.
Right, but that may not be what the whole board votes on.
No, that's true.
But he was gonna check with legal too, see? And
Right.
maybe legal's gonna say, you can't do that, or
And
you
they,
shouldn't do that.
they might.
Right.
But in addition to that, regardless, there needs to be some consideration of what we're asking employees to do on personal communication devices.
We do, I agree.
That's my
I like
issue with
that.
it.
I also think that maybe in the employee handbook, there should be something, if they are in a dangerous situation, they shouldn't be answering the phone.
No,
And if
agreed.
it's a personal call and because
Right, and
somebody
that's,
called them and they answered it, and that meant, you know, they're not supposed to be taking personal calls on
So
them.
it does get murky
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that,
yeah.
because
and I can speak from experience. I started in the field all the way up, and the way we used to do it back in the day, if you will, was everybody just had each other's cell phones, and you'd communicate that way. And there was no, nobody was like, "Hey, you're paying for my cell phone," and that never happened. But it's becoming an issue. So there is a lot of stuff that's going to have to go into it as far as legal and what, and getting all that in there, liability. Just speaking from experience, some places that I did work, they did have that when they pay you, whatever, $40, $50 a month, and that covers everything. So whatever happens to it, happens to it. You pay that out of pocket. You're getting that money. But then there's the other ones that they don't give you anything, and they just kind of expect it. And if somebody wanted to push back, they probably could. So, food for
Any
thought.
amount should be industry standard.
What's that?
Any amount that if we choose to compensate them, should be industry standard.
Yeah, we would have to look at neighboring districts, see what they're doing, or go with what the county is doing, or.
Chad, does Bella Vista reimburse you for phones
No, they supply cell phones.
to everyone?
Yes,
Or just the on-call?
to everyone.
And that's the other thing. So we would have to look.
Centerville, I think they pay $50 to use personal phones.
Okay.
And so that's something.
All right, any
Okay.
other comments, questions?
No.
Let's move on to 5 then.
All right.
Fatigue policy.
5 is the fatigue policy. Purpose, we're requesting a board approval for a new employee fatigue management policy designed to ensure that safety, health, and well-being of the district employees, particularly those performing extended or emergency response work hours. Background, quick little background. Operations requires employees to respond to emergency situations, mainline leaks, water outages. These events often result in extended shifts, limited rest periods, and increased fatigue risk among staff. And we do not have a policy currently. So that's what we're looking to bring in now.
So this is a new policy.
Yes.
Okay. And the question comes back then, is this something that we should run through finance or as a new policy?
possibly,
You know, I don't want to leave them out of the equation for doing their community assignments.
sure.
So,
We can-
and
we can
the
bring
fatigue,
some plans, Sarah.
self-assessment goes with it?
I'm sorry?
The self-assessment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I like that. I thought it was,
Well, I think planning and steering has really got their hands full with other things myself, but
Well, and this policy, exact policy was brought last month and you guys already reviewed it and asked
we
for this to come
discussed it
back.
some, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Any questions?
Nope.
Do I have a motion?
I move to accept the fatigue risk, let me go to the beginning so I got it right.
Yeah.
The employee fatigue management and break compliance policy.
Do I
I
have a
second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Motion carries.
Excellent.
Moving on to item 6, Prop 218 Advisory Committee interviews.
Yep.
You want to give us some background, or do we
Sure.
just go right on in?
I'll give you a little background. Okay, 6 is, applications and interviews for Prop 218 Advisory Committee. Background, as part of the upcoming Proposition 218 water rate study, Clear Creek is forming a community advisory committee to provide input, represent ratepayer perspectives, and assist in reviewing key elements of the proposed rate structure. Committee will serve in an advisory capacity, offering feedback throughout the study process to help ensure transparency, community engagement, and alignment with district goals. So we have, I think, three or?
We have Chad.
Chad, which
Chad's
is
already
here,
done.
which we
He's off the
interviewed.
hook.
I don't see
then we
Cole. I don't see a Cole.
Cole is not
That's the
here.
other one, Cole.
I
And
did
then,
not hear
Sarah,
back from
right?
him.
Yeah, Sarah Beer.
Sarah Beer.
Right.
And this is the second time of calling him, so
Yeah,
if he, I mean, it has to be something that they want to do, so. He's not here.
Interest by the board in striking Cole's application?
I agree.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to show up for an interview, is he gonna show up to help?
Fair enough, all right. So that's taken care of. That leaves us with Mr. Hosine and
Sarah.
Sarah Beer. So Sarah, come on up, please. Well, board, who wants to start asking questions?
I will. Why do you want to be on board? Or, I mean, what's your interest?
So I moved to Happy Valley in 2017. I have a background in auditing. I've done audited water districts before, in Siskiyou County or Shasta County. And so the first time it happened was right after I moved here, we did the last study. And I came in briefly before a trip and noticed there were a bunch of errors in the numbers that were being used in the study. That was kind of my extent, and what I did, I kind of did as a favor for my neighbor, and so I was then gone for a few months. So, coming around again, I'd like to offer my expertise or just, be able to review some of the figures and the numbers that go into what my water bill is every month that I'm paying. Make sure that, the money's going where it should and just help out with, that I haven't done an audit in 7 years. So there's gonna be some lag time there. I just do tax accounting now, but I still do accounting and I still do nonprofit taxes and some financial statements. So.
Questions? No? Director Johnson? No. Could you, go ahead.
No, I said no.
Oh, okay. What time constraints do you need to share with us?
So I'm not on a lot of boards. I'm on the Happy Valley Community Foundation board, and they are very flexible with me. So my busy season is going to start at the end of January through April 15th. I can probably make a meeting in February, March, maybe. Maybe not. It's just, I think that's really when I'm busy. The other thing is, we're not, it's just me and my husband that have the business, so we travel a lot, so I don't know what time constraint. Usually we take a trip for 3 weeks in January. And so I just don't know, how flexible it's gonna be. Is it gonna be on your schedule? Is it gonna be, the people that end up being on the advisory committee, we're gonna decide on when and where to meet or,
Right.
So that would be my hesitation that I've expressed several times, and I have to Emily too about it, is I don't want to commit to something and then, be unavailable.
All right, maybe an advisory aspect.
Right, so if there's enough numbers and that's fantastic, and I come in and review the figures or the numbers, or I come to one meeting or, I'm asked to review things in a separate capacity as, can you look over the budget, or can you look over our calculations, or give advice on working on a specific aspect, that would be great too.
So a question for our general manager then.
Sure.
Is there enough financial information on the district's website for Sarah to review? Budget to actuals, say for the last 3 years or so? Things like that?
I don't think so. Not on.
Okay, because I don't know what, when you get down to looking at the study, is it kind of when you're coming up with the figures,
Mhm,
are you pulling numbers, that you have from QuickBooks
mhm.
and putting those in like a spreadsheet almost to come up with these rates? I guess I'm not familiar with the process enough to know, how exactly it's gonna work, or how detailed the financial aspect of it is.
We use like RCAC, I don't know if you're familiar with them,
Okay,
but yeah, they'll do a rate study, in all counties and everything, in the county. And that's where we find our base rate and what, customers can afford and those type of things.
yeah.
We're also doing an MHI study for median household income, and that's affecting our grants and stuff down the road, but.
So in 2021, when the last community did ad hoc, Dennis was on it for a while, and Terry also, and there was a formula. And Dennis probably still has that they plugged in numbers and values and then came up with a rate. So there is that aspect of it, but where they got all their numbers to plug it in, I don't know.
Well, yeah, basis of it all started right there.
We're also gonna wanna look at the budget to actuals over the last few years, so that we can do a justification of the rates
Okay.
based on the percentage increases over those years, and then have to project it out over the course of the next 5 years. And
The audits are on the website though.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw that
we just got
most
the current
recent ones
one,
here.
and it's on the packet, so that'll help a little bit, but that's the 22-23.
Right, I saw it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on the 24.
So it's catch up with some of this.
There were no audits when we got in here. I mean, it's been a real struggle, plus in the middle of all this, we changed computer programs. So
Upgraded.
Yes.
it's been, we upgraded, but it still was a change. And so it's been, if it's not been one thing, it's been another.
The tentative plan is for the first meeting to be after the holidays,
Okay.
sometime early January. And hopefully, and I guess we could reach out for any other financial information we might want to do. I think if RCAC is going to be doing most of the work, we want to be the backup and review everything they've done and make sure.
Right.
Their last time, they were directed to do a rate study based on meter size, and that became horrendous. And, the ad hoc decided, no, we don't want that. Actually went to a community meeting and it was voted down. So
Well, we couldn't afford what they wanted to give us.
Right.
$685 a month before you get a drop of water.
So RCAC, we don't trust them.
Well, no, it's a matter of giving them the proper scope that you
Right.
want.
Was that even legal though?
Yes, it was. If the community had voted in favor of it, I would be paying.
Wasn't there requirements that it can only be X amount of?
Not when it's meter size based.
You mean,
X amount of minimum wage, like.
yes,
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
And they said that it fell within that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, it's 1 day of minimum wage.
the community committee got together
It
and
wasn't-
fought over it.
It wasn't minimum wage, it was based on your total income
Right,
and what the calculations were. And,
ability to pay,
Well,
but there we go, that's the right term.
Interesting.
That was the right
Get
term.
language in the
yeah.
act.
So we'll go with a base rate that's the same for everybody and do the calculations. But the ad hoc is gonna be putting together the structure of it, the requirements, what we want from our CAC, and then to review and make sure that this is done right before. And I think we have until about late August, September to present it to the public. There's a
Yep.
45-day period for the public to review.
I'm not on the committee, but I can tell you from working with all of these people, they will bend over backwards to make it work for you.
And if that's, reviewing and coming up with comments on an email or a voice call or
Yes,
video call or whatever, I'm not saying, I just don't know my schedule, except that I'm here for tax season and then, this year we've been home the most we've ever been, but sometimes we're gone like 5 or 6 months in a year, so.
I think anything you can do to help us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the upfront and not,
keep us steered in the right direction.
so.
We appreciate that.
Any other questions for me? I've been in CPA since 2012, I've been in accounting since 2007.
I'm assuming we all approve of our
Yeah.
efforts to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But don't forget the booster station that we do have to charge.
Oh, I've already got that in my notes. I
Okay.
have a file of Proctor 18 stuff. The North Booster?
Yep.
Yeah,
So do we have to vote to accept it or?
I think just said yay.
Okay.
Well, on the paper, it says Denny. I usually call you Dennis, but Denny.
I thought we had to call him Mister.
Oh, Lottie Dennis.
Dennis, our son, and I was involved in the original rate study. Sarah got it going, and then we formed committee and figured out the rates. And I eventually left the committee and some other folks jumped on it and kind of finished it up. That's what happened.
Can I ask, if you don't mind, you left the committee and I got the impression that it was because things weren't being done properly or something.
Separate in a way.
Okay,
And actually.
that's enough.
Yeah, the rates kept going up and up and up, beyond what we had agreed upon. And the rates kept going up, not that they were wrong. I mean, but it was above what I was comfortable with. By $1, $2 or something like that. And it just, and Cedric went back off, and so that's what happened. It wasn't a problem. I wasn't upset at all. It was just let somebody else jump in and finish it up, and they did.
Excellent.
So,
It did cover things fairly well for most of it, except for the last year, we may be a little deficit.
right, luckily, the way we found the books were so screwed up
Yeah.
that we needed the extra revenue. Because the books were terrible.
Right.
So one of the things I want to mention with that is that the last rates were based on 2020.
Mhm.
And when I was looking at Centerville's numbers and trying to go back and look at expenses, it looks like in 2020 and perhaps even in 2021, or could have been 2019, the grant monies were part of that expense and in the plant, the water plant's expenses, when that grant money actually was taken back out. So whatever was spent, and so one year it was overstated by $218,000. And then another year, I believe it was 131,000. So those numbers were skewed, I believe, that when you guys worked on it. And that showed up in one of the audits, I believe, too.
Yes.
They said it was overstated.
Any other questions?
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for all you do, Dennis.
Let's find some, flip it over. Looks like delinquencies, water service disconnect policy.
Yes. One second. So item 7, yes, delinquencies and water service disconnection policy. It's a discussion action. We're requesting the approval of an updated delinquencies and water service disconnection policy that aligns with district practices with the California Water Shutoff Protection Act, SB 998, and establishes consistent procedures for handling past due accounts, payment arrangements, and disconnections for non-payment. Just a quick background, the district existing delinquency procedure is outdated and does not fully reflect the requirements of the SB 998. Codified in health and safety, 116900, 116926, which standardizes notice periods, payment plan options, and protection for low-income and medically vulnerable customers.
Questions on policy? No. Director Weaver, questions?
No, I thought it was really good, especially the special conditions section.
Director Pickerson?
Okay.
All right. Page 2, item E, I believe. We are talking about the 24-hour shut-off notice and a $50 disconnect fee, and then a additional $50 reconnect fee. Does the policy state that reconnection is only during normal business hours? Or should there be different fees for after hours, weekend, holidays?
So there is no current policy. I know it's been brought up, and Paul said sometimes they were charging for it. It's not in any
And
policy
sometimes
I
not.
can find.
Right.
But
Yes.
you can't charge customers anything if it's not in a
It's
policy.
in the rules and regulations. Are we talking about the $100
The extra.
for after hours?
For
For
non-emergency.
non-emergency, not after.
We're not talking about shut off, and this is, the policy
is a
here
shut
is
off
about
policy.
shut off, like you
Oh.
have a major
Yeah,
bill.
Okay.
This is totally different.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I understand for the medical necessity and those other special circumstances, that I'm fine with that. I'm talking for the, just the regular customer. Do we need to have, or will the district not go after hours or on the
This
weekend?
policy
and do
is
the
for
reconnect?
delinquencies. We don't
Yes.
turn people off on nights and weekends.
Right.
That's a separate,
You do it during the business hours to turn off,
Yes,
but what
for
if?
delinquencies is this
Yes.
policy.
Yeah, right.
right.
Okay, so my question is, if they say, hey, look, can you just send somebody out or give you the check for this month and turn it back on even though it's 9:00 at night?
No, it has to
Okay.
be,
So the
Yeah.
policy will be that it's only during normal business hours.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, as long as that's stated.
Because that would, a crew can't take cash from a
I
customer
agree.
and they can't come use our system. So there would be no way
Yeah, so they
to
couldn't
turn
do
them
it
back
anyway.
on.
Unless they walked in at close and said, here's my money.
Yes.
Go and take it.
Oh, yeah, at 4:29, we would go turn them on. But that's not, it would just be the on-call person.
So this
So
policy.
that wouldn't really apply to this policy.
I'm just trying to make sure we cover our bases.
I think
And,
they're pretty well covered.
was there any research into what other districts charge for the reconnect fee?
We can't really change any fees at this time. It has to go through Prop 218.
I understand.
So it wouldn't be,
I did a little research and there were some districts that would charge up to $600.
Yeah,
I can't see doing that to our customers.
no.
And then an increase in their.
This is just
cost.
essentially to cover labor, gas, all that type of stuff.
and before you change any rate of any kind, you have to prove that it costs us that much.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not for profit.
Right.
Mhm. I agree. Okay, any other questions? Since this is a new policy, I need a motion to approve or adopt.
I make a motion that we adopt the new policy for delinquencies and water service disconnect policy resolution number 2025-10.
Do I have a second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 8, is that that would be
This is the update to rules and regulations.
on the water service policy
Yep.
regarding custom accounts being sent to, oh, this is the collections, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Thank you for only putting the one page in.
You're very welcome. You know, it took a lot out of me not to put the whole thing. Yeah, so this is the lead off from the policy being updated, because we entered into the collections agency, which you guys requested last time. So collections agency was added to the prior policy, that's why
That's why it's here.
this one's B going in for approval.
Hang on a second, if you would, please.
Yeah.
I need to
Long Dale
check
just messed up
something.
the AB.
Okay,
Before you get started,
Sure.
I wanted to check on one thing on this policy, some clarification. What was it, 8.1 on the cross connection,
8.1.
if I'm correct? Where are you? It
Okay,
was
yeah.
hydrocarbon.
Oh, right here. Cross connection control.
Yeah. Wanted to bring up a couple of things about that.
Sure.
It's in the agenda, so I can talk about it. Our contract with Hydrocarbon was originally just for commercial entities.
Yes,
We covered up to 50, but we only had like 7 or 8 commercial entities.
correct.
So some customers are being reached out to, and I'm not sure how they're doing it, but I was reached out. I made an appointment and didn't show. Then in the mail, I got an inspection non-compliance notice 1. Okay,
Okay,
I received this, and I'm not sure we want to be sending this out unknown to customers in non-compliance when we have not informed them of what is required to be in compliance. By calling them and finding out what was going on, I found out that everybody, eventually, all customers in the community are gonna have to have an ASSE 1011 vac breaker assembly installed on all their exterior faucets. Okay, this is one of them. So I went ahead and researched it, went online to Amazon, and the price varies drastically. I ordered a 12-pack, and it was $50. This one from Ace Hardware was $10. Okay, now 12 wasn't quite enough for me. But I think we need to educate the customers on what's coming and give them either a picture of something like this with the description and, encourage them to shop around and find what they need. Or even go in with their neighbors
Yeah, we,
And buy some.
so we have all the models that you would need with all the sizes and all of that. We have that here in the office. So if for some reason this comes up, you can come here, we'll show you what you need and give you a site you can go to purchase it. What Director McVeigh is speaking about is California implemented a new law where per connection control plan has to be for every water district. So it's just rolling out. I spoke to the water board and essentially they're getting it put into place. So it's coming down the line within the next probably 5 to 10 years. It'll have to be complete where, they're saying that you have to have one of these vacuum breakers on your hose bib, and we're trying to get ahead of the game. That's what we have HydroCorp for, and that's what he's speaking about right now. So they're essentially putting more rules and regulations, the state is, on backflow prevention devices and things, and even for residential houses.
Yeah.
So,
Easy to install. You take your faucet, install this on, tighten the little nut. There's a washer that comes with it, and then the hose attaches to the other end. What happens is if there's some back pressure, there are a bunch of little holes all around. And the water would go out that way and not go back into the system. So cross-connection, backflow, preventer. But all customers are gonna be required to have those at some point. And right now, because we contracted with HydroCorp, we've included probably some of the larger metered customers.
Yeah, so we only have, like you said, 7 or 8 different commercial entities that would be put under commercial. So they included the ag customers with the large size meters. That's why some of you might be getting letters from HydroCorp in the near future if you do have one of the larger meters. And what they're essentially saying is what we're speaking about, that it's coming down the pipe from the state, and they're saying, oh, you could need one of these down the line, is what it is. So we're using them for their software currently, mainly. And then the residentials, we are gonna be the ones that have to do the hazard assessments. I put that in quotes because it's required by the state. You have to have a cross-control specialist and inspect, and this type of thing. It's just more rules and regulations. This isn't the district, this is the state.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Where do they go on it?
They go on the hose bib. You're talking about these?
Yeah, in other words, I have 3 stand-up bibs, each have 2 faucets off.
Yeah.
One out of the house and back, just hook on it.
Yeah, you just screw it on there, and then it has like a locking screw on it. And then and that's it.
I have pressure valves that are put on the pressure restrictor.
Yeah.
And the other 2 will, but it's just one other thing that goes in there.
Yeah, it's got like a male and a female end. You just screw it on there, and then it has like a locking screw, and that's it.
And what does it prevent?
Vacuum. So that when you're running the hose and whatever, and it doesn't suck anything back into the line.
You can look at this after the meeting, Robert. Okay.
So.
Like for some reason back pressure. Yeah.
You guys say, pressure regulators on the meter. Would that do the same thing for the inflow to the property?
Not unless it has like a check valve, which it might, depending on what your plumber installed. So, and we're gonna be doing the assessments in-house, so we have to do this per state. So obviously we're gonna work with everybody. We're not just gonna be, hey, you gotta put this on, and like I said, there's up to 10 years, I think, to have everything in code, so.
Right. The only other issue I had with them was, it was a unique situation. I got a letter saying they were gonna be by. I called and says, hey, call me.
Yeah.
Before you come over, I'll open my gate, I'll put my German Shepherd away.
Yes.
And the inspector said he came by and the gate was closed and called me. Only I have call logs. I never got a call, so I reached out to the company. But this is an inspection non-compliance notice. And to me, that sends a negative message to our customers.
With our logo at the top.
Yeah, with ours at top, exactly.
Yeah, and
So all of a sudden, you don't know about this and
definitely
you're in non-compliance. And I'd like to maybe an informational thing to the customers first, you know. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
This is
We can
what
put something in a
this is what you
newsletter
need to have. We'll come back in 30 days. You know,
Sure.
This is pretty much what they said here. They were gonna re-inspect on the 17th.
What agency issued it?
It's HydroCorp is this contract was
This.
done before I got here, but it's a
It's an
company,
independent contractor?
yes.
Who does he contract?
I think these are the guys we hired because.
Yes.
We hired HydroCorp.
We went into a contract with HydroCorp. They're the ones that set the letter.
So their contract with this district?
Yes,
Okay, so they're just doing the district work by contract?
yes.
Okay.
Right.
Because we had to hire somebody, basically.
And let me remind you that they're only covering the commercial/agriculture as far as the inspections. The residentials that have to be done by the new cross-connection plan law will be done in-house by us.
Technically, my land's agriculture. I came with a 3-inch valve
Meter.
because of one of the property costs at the time,
Right?
and it was defective. And so the district wanted to replace it with the 2-inch, because it actually cost them like $700, where the 3
Yeah.
cost them $3,000, but the
Yes.
charge for 3 grand was $175,000.
Yep.
So it's a pretty good deal.
Right.
So I don't know what, might have to have slightly more expensive one because I'm agriculture.
No.
No, these, you're referring to these?
Yeah.
No, it's like one, it has nothing to do with meter size, it's just, goes on standard hose bibs.
All your outdoor faucets.
It would all be the same
I
price.
guess Scott just didn't look like a scout valve to me, so I just said, no.
I put a lot of time into understanding it. I talked with the manager of HydroCorp and whatnot. So, anyway, that's what's coming down the pike. Some customers will be informed, yes.
What does this have to do, this whole conversation?
Nothing.
That's kind of wasted my time, have to do with updating the rules and regulations of water service policy regarding customer accounts being sent to the collection agency.
Not a problem. 8.1 also talked about HydroCorp though.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about sending to a collection agency. You can't just pick one thing out of a page.
We had already approved it. And
We haven't approved this yet.
No.
have we not voted on this?
No.
My apologies. then.
No. You went
We
off
should have
on
approved.
some rigmarole that should have been put on the agenda, not just come up in the middle of a conversation and waste a half hour of my time.
All right.
So,
For your information, I did ask that it be put on the agenda, but it failed to get there.
well, then you should have brought it up at the end, not in the middle of what we're doing. So,
Fair enough.
All right.
So do we need to have a motion?
Right here.
We haven't
Yes.
even announced it yet, have we?
So this is the update to the rules and regulations. I'm sorry, update to rules and regulations for water service policy regarding customer accounts being sent to a collection agency. Just a quick background, the district currently has 115 closed stale accounts with outstanding balances totaling $45,496.82. We have no forwarding contact information for the account holders, and they no longer reside at the associated properties. Staff has determined that utilizing a professional debt collection agency is the most viable method to recover at least a portion of these outstanding balances, rather than writing off the debt entirely. So we're proposing to update the rules and regulations for the water service, establish a clear procedure for sending closed delinquent customer accounts to the collection agency.
And all they're gonna charge us is 30%.
30%.
So that's great.
Yes.
It's gonna-
Question,
Sure.
is there somewhere in this that gives the criteria for when the staff turn it over to the collection? Or is that something that one of the committees?
That's why the policy was updated, yeah, so they're closed accounts where staff is trying to reach out to them 4 different ways, at
Right.
least 4 different times. and it has to be over 120 days, which it would be much longer than 120. Before we ever send someone to collections, that's for sure, but it's just kind of the guideline, the way our billing is broke up, that's when they're like stale accounts officially in our system. So it's in there if you look through the policy.
All right, questions?
I just have a statement for all of us to kind of be aware of, and maybe then staff can help us. So when I was going back through minutes and looking at stuff for Centerville, I came across, I believe it was July of 2022. So it was before all of us but him were on the committee. And Christy Satori had come to the board and said, we're going to put all of these closed accounts to a collection agency and get them off the books. Well, I think it was shortly thereafter she left, and that never happened. Because I asked Emily, what about these other ones that happened back then? So it never happened. So how do we ensure that we get a regular report that some of these have cleared, or that we know that it has actually been done, is my question.
Well, yeah. Well, technically the law right now is just that once a year you do it. It's shut-offs, but we could put in something like that, but that's only once a year. So if you want to see it more often, it is posted on the website.
No, I mean how they clear. So you're saying you're sending these 115 to the collection agencies.
Mhm.
When does it get taken off the books?
It's a good question.
Good question. Like if we don't receive the money, when do we just write off at that point? You mean?
Well, according
Oh.
to the agreement, what I'm seeing is that it goes even over 1 year. And it doesn't say when it comes off, it just says over 1 year.
Does it actually come off because it's gone to collection?
Didn't the auditor have us take them off at one time, a
I-
number of them?
I thought so.
Yeah.
The board
See?
voted one time to bad debt and just make disappear about $85,000 worth of those.
I thought that was directed by the auditor.
Not that I remember.
Yeah.
But
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
But if that's true, that was my question. Why do we still have 115 of them? How old are these 115? I mean, are we?
Years.
Years. So see, did it happen or did it not happen? And how do we know?
There is no, we switched
Right.
complete systems in 2023. I don't have
Yeah.
access to anything that happened prior, and QuickBooks also switched at that time.
and all that.
I believe you are correct. So
So we have no idea.
So these are not old enough where the auditor had felt that they should have been taken off. 'Cause
No.
those were real old ones.
These are real old ones, she
Yeah.
said.
These are, when was that? 2022?
Yeah, but isn't
These
there a
are-
period of time that you can, that if you don't send it to collection, then it's beyond collecting, you can't do it.
That is what we were told at one time. Ted.
That was my understanding, is they could not be collected.
After so long?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we needed to write them off and get them off the books, and that's
Yeah,
what. we
that's
did.
what,
Right.
okay.
yes.
Because when we're saying old, we're talking 3 years.
Right.
Or more.
Okay, so these probably were older than that.
Right.
Yeah, they were.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I believe most of these accounts are just what were considered the 1081s. They actually are not receiving water, but they have a meter on their property.
No,
No?
we shut them off, a long time ago.
Right.
But they
Right.
were customers who built up these accounts using water.
So
Oh,
one of the
okay.
things
Yes.
that,
They're
when
previous.
we go through this and if we approve it, can you find out how long that they keep it on the
Keep
books?
trying before.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I didn't think 10.
some of these may have been rental properties also, isn't that correct? And then the renter moved.
Sure.
Well, but that would be the owner's responsibility
That's
then.
what I'm
Correct,
getting
yeah.
to.
Right.
Is there in the policy that the owner is then responsible to pay it?
The policy is the exact same that you guys always approved. It's a paragraph that was added about the collections.
Okay.
So whatever that part is.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was literally just a paragraph added in there.
Any other questions?
I need to make a note.
Robert does.
Robert?
I'm of the opinion that the bill is a valid debt and not an actionable one. You turn it over to collection agency and they take X%, 40 or 50 or whatever they collect. But if they don't file suit within the statute of limitations, it's no longer collectible. And all you can do is decline to hook someone up again. You can't take it, so you just write it off, so no value when it's past the statute. That's my belief. So you might want to look at that.
Thank you.
All right.
Do we need an action on this?
Yes, we do.
Excuse me.
You betcha.
Don't you, lien those properties?
We are now.
That's something that started
We
recently.
do lien the properties, earlier on, those ones, yeah. Honestly, we lien people more at the 120-day mark, even though this collection says 120 days, it would be more. But yeah, we are finally doing liens. We just started about 6 months ago.
So if we put a lien on the property, and let's say somebody doesn't pay and you've cut them off with water, but they still own the property. And if it goes to a collection agency and you get paid, why would we still want the lien?
Right.
If we get paid, the lien gets released.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The county
Yeah.
Okay,
releases.
so even, so we only get 30% of that and they pay? Well, that's a good deal then.
30% of whatever the.
They get
Okay.
30%.
We get 30%.
Well,
Or-
I'm
No,
gonna.
They take
They
They
get
take
30%.
30%.
Oh,
We
okay.
get
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what's it called?
Water service policy regarding,
No, I move that we enter into an agreement with a collection agency.
Wait, we have to approve the policy, then
Yeah.
enter in.
And then.
So that's A and B is the
Yeah.
policy, or is the agreement.
Okay, so we have to update the rules and regulations for water service policy regarding customer accounts being sent to collection agency. I so move.
I second that motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Wait, do we have to authorize that it's Empire Credit and Collections?
That's B. So
That's
that's
B.
number
That's the
B.
next
Yeah.
one. We authorize.
That's
I
okay.
move that we enter into an agreement with collections agencies of Empire Credit and Collections.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on. Trying to find my agenda.
Okay. 9. All right,
Thanks. Yeah.
number 9, item 9, right?
Yes, item 9
Okay,
adjustments.
it's an adjustment request for 17690 Warwick Place. Karen Yeager at that location is asking for an adjustment request. Is Karen here?
No. Comments on the situation? I read through it. Seems that there was no water for 3 or 4 days and she wants a month's credit. What, about $75 was it?
$73.48 during a mainline break. She says she was out without water for a total of 4 days in September.
We went through this last month, and according to the agreement that each person signs, when they receive water from us, that we are not responsible if there is a break or they lose water until it's fixed. So I say no.
Any other comments? Board's pleasure, what do we do? All in favor of approving or rejecting? What do we do? Anybody in favor of approving the request? No. All in favor of denying the request?
Aye.
Okay.
I'm
Next,
sorry, board, who seconded for the minutes?
The A or B?
Wait, I'm number 9, the
Oh, we
adjustment.
just,
Yeah, we just
adjustment.
I didn't catch who
Oh,
There
motion.
was no motion.
There was
No
no
motion.
motion.
You're just
The board
denying, okay.
decided.
Thank you.
all right.
Second,
Item 10, another adjustment request for 18298 Majestic View Drive. This is for Cara and Les Anderson. They say in October, they had a major water leak. They had the leak repaired, and then the next day it was leaking again. The customer had the pipe repaired a second time. Cara and Les Anderson are concerned about the amount of water loss, an additional amount for their October bill. They're requesting for assistance getting partial amount of the bill waived due to financial hardship for $25.
right, and the bill amount that they
The
paid,
bill-
I believe, was
$115, and normally it's 93.
That's me.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay, I was waiting and you didn't say, so
Sorry.
I thought I'd better speak.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Can you come on up and give us some background?
So, been out here for a long time, like everybody else. I will say that the gentleman, our water leak happened on a very late Saturday afternoon. Called the service, they sent the worker out, he was super nice.
Okay.
My husband's disabled, I'm not working right now because I'm gonna take care of my father's estate. And so, we were confused on what the water company was responsible for and what we were. The worker was really good at explaining all that to me, late Saturday. So we had no water, which is fine, turned out it was our responsibility to fix the water. I repaired it early Sunday morning, with parts that I already had, apparently they were, defaulted. So then by, Monday, it had opened up again and was leaking very early Monday morning. I called the same gentleman, he came out before shift and shut the water off. And, I did all the work, because my husband has a bad heart, can't do it. So, which is fine, no big deal there. But it did take us several days. I had to purchase about $100 in, we ended up getting Schedule 40 pipe to repair everything so it wouldn't happen again. And so it didn't cost us out of pocket. Again, it was our issue, it was our pipe. And so at the time when I put in my proposal to have the money, I didn't know how much money had leaked out through that period of time, and because it happened in the middle of the night on the third leak.
Right.
And so it had been leaking for several hours down the street, and I didn't know it, and I became really worried about the bill. So, fortunately, it was only $25 more than what we were normally paying, but I thought it would come with effort in to see if we could get an excuse. We have always paid our bill, just right now, times are tough, so
I appreciate that.
that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Board?
Any questions?
yeah, Carol, we're not heartless,
Oh, I know.
but the issue is that if we excuse one, then all the requests, a lot of times are valid with their water issues if they had something break. And so it's a very slippery slope for us. So generally, because it does say in there, we're not responsible for, the leaks on your side. Generally, we deny, well, I think we all have denied those requests, so.
Sorry.
So, a vote by the board to approve or deny the request. So, all in favor of denying the request, I guess?
Aye.
Okay.
Sorry.
Which is our
Yeah.
standard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So number 11. Item 11, Happy Valley Community Foundation is requesting for sign placement. This is a discussion action. Background, the district received a request from Happy Valley Community Foundation regarding the placement of a community sign near district property. The foundation maintains several Welcome to Happy Valley signs throughout the community. One of these signs previously located on the southwest corner of Cloverdale Road and Placer Road was recently destroyed after being struck by a vehicle. Discussion, Happy Valley Community Foundation has requested permission to install a replacement sign at the district water tower fence located at the corner of Cloverdale and Placer Road. It's a 5x4.
Comments?
Placer.
Yeah.
Placer, yeah.
My
Any
apologies.
comments, Director Weaver or Director Tickets?
I don't want people to know you're not from here.
I should have known better because Placerville.
Yes.
Down here if you want to have to.
Placer, no. Are we all in agreement that we?
John's here to talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
You wanna share your insights?
That pretty much says it. The sign is the typical sign that you see coming into Happy Valley's, this sign here.
Excellent.
And someone, like you said, they drove through the sign, I guess they must have taken the sign with them as a trophy. And we had another sign that got ran over and we had to replace it. And so we have an extra sign, it's got a few tire tracks on it, but you can't see it unless you get them about a foot away from it. But that's the sign we'd like to put on it. And I took a couple pictures and I'll just show you real quickly, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the water tower. And that's where I was thinking about putting the sign. And there's another picture of it.
Absolutely.
Mounting it on to the chain link fence. And
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Is it gonna block anything?
No.
it shouldn't block anything.
Well, you have to enter district property to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
We could
Problem
accommodate.
on the side of the fence. The sign is fairly light, it'll mount on the chain link, and it can just be tied on with wires. It would be pretty easy to do.
Sounds good. My only concern is there potential liability to the district?
I guess we could assist on help mounting it on that side of the fence, so I'm fine with it. I think it's okay.
I don't know what the ground's like out there, whether there's a gopher hole that could twist an ankle. And I know you wouldn't do anything about it, but I have to protect the interests of the.
I'll stay on this side of the fence.
I'm all for it.
Okay, all those in favor of allowing our fine community folks put up a new sign? Aye.
I abstain.
I understand why.
Why?
Yeah.
Should've liked it.
Yeah. That's between the two of you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right, number 12. Item 12, presentation and acceptance of the 2023 independent financial audit. Background, Government Code 26909 requires special districts to undergo an annual independent financial audit. Harshwell and Company has completed the draft for 2023 independent financial audit for the district. The audit evaluates the district's financial statements, internal controls, and compliance with applicable accounting standards. Each year, the completed audit must be presented to the board, which we're doing now, in a public meeting for formal acceptance and inclusion in the district's official record.
Questions about the audit? Comments?
Just one.
Go ahead.
So on the last page, where you're giving your,
Oh, the response?
our response.
Mm-hmm.
So it says the finance committee now meets monthly to review financial statements, cash flows, and actual versus budget reports. So we have been doing it basically quarterly.
Okay.
And I didn't see in there where they recommended that we do it monthly. Now, that doesn't mean that we couldn't come in monthly and do like reconciliations, but I don't know what you guys think about being told you have to do financial meetings monthly. Because I think that's a burden on you guys also.
Right. Yeah, I think,
I agree with you, but, I remember you saying something about wanting to come in to look at the reconciliation on a
Correct.
monthly basis. And I think maybe if one member of the finance committee, then the committee can decide who goes in and does that. And that might meet the criteria of that.
Well, the only problem with that is that there's no proof that we came in, unless we're signing something. Maybe there's a reconciliation page. This has happened every year for the last probably 10 years of reviews that I've looked at.
Yeah.
It says there's no monthly reconciliation. And then last year when I tried to do it, they were having problems. And so then it was like, wait, you need to wait. So we wait and we wait and we wait. And then of course, then Melissa leaves. And now Shireen has said, yes, come in, we can do that, because I am just so unfamiliar with that process. So if we had a sheet that shows, or are we initialing somewhere, or if there's a reconciliation sheet, which I'm fine if it was.
When you do the payables, there's that stamp for
Right.
the directors to initial, maybe that stamp is used.
Every time I do a reconciliation, I print it out, so it shows that I've reconciled it. So when you go into QuickBooks, it'll show that it's cleared. That means it's reconciled. So I've done over 100 reconciliations since I started here.
And you've gone back how far?
I went back to March. Some accounts, just vendor accounts, I've gone back further.
Oh, so you're talking sub-accounts then,
I'm
not,
talking about bank accounts and your CD accounts and all of those.
Right.
okay.
So can I make a recommendation? If you print those out, maybe once a month when one of the signers comes in to approve payables, maybe it can be reviewed then and approved.
Or I could
Why does it have to be
Make
done
it
in
easier.
one?
to you.
I guess it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, it does. That's one of the things that they ding us on,
Yeah,
is saying that the reconciliation isn't being done on a monthly. Because if you do it on a monthly, you're gonna come up, you'll find your errors.
Gotcha.
yeah, see, on
And that there
here,
is no supervision or
the district failed
managerial
to review
supervision.
monthly
I know.
financials, so. And
What
it's
was
really-
There was
that?
no supervision or reconciliations or anything like that.
Supposedly they were, because we
Yeah.
would ask, and that's what we were told they were
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah,
See, that's the problem. So
No documentation
have
to
you
prove it was
already
done.
submitted this report to Charwell or whoever? Archwell?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
the final
This is
audit.
the final audit.
No, but I mean, our corrective action plan, you submitted, do you have to submit that to them?
Yes, I had to.
Okay, okay,
I think putting the stamp on it and signing it.
would do it, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think so too.
all right. So I guess the
So-
term maybe meets monthly I'm thinking, oh, we gotta have another meeting.
yeah.
And I'm going, oh, come on. So I guess if we, I guess I'm taking the term meets, meaning meeting, and it's not. Okay, I'm
Okay.
good.
Mhm.
I'm good with that. Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
No, okay. Going over the internal controls, there was a list of a number of material weaknesses, they're called. And I know we fixed quite a few of those. But things like, boy, they don't even have numbers, do they? Like the district is unable to provide deposit support, things like that. Supporting documentation not provided for 10 out of 10 miscellaneous revenue samples. District failed to create and enforce policies, procedures for administrative personnel to perform duties. Is this something that one of the committees needs to be looking into? Are we in compliance with all of our policies now?
Right.
I'm looking to future audits to where we can be more
47. Are
compliant.
you on page 47?
Page 44 right now.
44.
I think 46 or 7 has the same things basically.
Yeah.
Let me just
Can we
look
read
real
some?
quick. 44.
Oh, 44, okay.
Okay. The basic conditions listed there, and there's no numbers next to them, just a dot.
Oh, I see.
And so,
Well, you're reviewing the financial statements every month, so that's
Right.
taken care of now.
so do we
The
have
bank
supporting
reconciliations are
documentation
taken
to
care
show
of.
that for future audits?
Yeah, we do, because
Yeah,
it's
it's in,
stamped.
it's in the minutes too.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm good there,
Yeah.
then.
okay.
So I
Then, fail to create and enforce policies and procedures for administrative personnel. So is that something, that needs to be done? Are we up to date on employee handbooks?
We never had.
You know, well, we talked a while ago about them being
I'm not
created.
really sure why that pertains to your financial audit, really, but it seems to all be going in the right direction. What I see
Why would that
anyway.
be in the financial audit?
I don't know.
Okay,
I agree though that why is it there?
yeah.
But,
By
but,
the same token, are we
are we needing to?
doing something?
Yeah.
about
Mhm.
I think that we're all working together and everything's going in the right direction.
it?
But we
Okay.
don't have an employee handbook.
Yeah.
Yes, we
You
do.
do,
do.
you do.
It's
yeah.
extremely old and outdated,
Yes.
but this is why I keep bringing you guys policies, because
We're working on it.
the actual new modern
Should-
way to do it is to have separate policies with a small snippet. So when you update a policy, it's just easier to switch it out instead of here's a brand new employee handbook every time we update a
Right.
policy.
But do they get a copy of the policies when they are hired on? And
So-
are they signing it?
Right,
So they get,
acceptance of it, acknowledgement, whatever.
they get the MOU that they sign and leave with.
Yeah.
They get the keys policy, the cell phone policy, the vehicle policy.
But
I'm
we're gonna have to do
creating
the
the
technology
harassment
one also,
one.
we'll have to have that.
That's a new one,
You
yeah.
know, and your rest and, fatigue policy.
Yeah.
You'll be aware of that.
And we're giving them copies of everything that they sign.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
anything an employee signs,
But
yeah.
is,
But we're about probably 8 required policies behind right
Yeah,
now.
right.
And so I'm trying.
so
Oh, so
do
we're
we
doing
need to involve the planning and steering? Is
No.
it- No? You just want to turn it all the way to staff only?
Yes,
Well, it's not to
Okay.
staff, it's to the whole board though.
it's
yeah.
to somebody who has drawn up policies forever, we have not.
Okay,
And so she brings them to us to okay or not okay.
yeah, or the committee makes recommendations to the board as far as what's going on. Okay,
I
fair
think-
enough.
I understand what you're saying, but the fact is that there's only 5 of us and we're all on a lot of committees and we all don't have
Okay,
more time.
fair enough. I think we handled the finance standing committee failed to meet consistently. I think we've taken care of that one. How are we on the planning steering committee failed to ensure the reserve accounts were used or failed to adhere to, no, I guess that was something else. Anyway, I'm looking at all these material weaknesses and I'm looking to see, are we in compliance now? Because back in 22, 23, we weren't. So are there things we need to be doing to become compliant?
I think I wrote that here in my corrective action plan.
Okay,
And I think, as we were saying with the policies, it's, one step at a time. We're working on getting all these up to snuff, but
okay.
to say they're all done, I
Well,
can't
I
say.
understand. I'm just trying to, since these were, in a sense, the corrective actions
Right,
that they pointed out to us, I want us to have a feel of where we are in the process.
sure,
I'm not asking for it to be done tomorrow.
I get you.
Monday's good enough. Okay, I'm done with it. Anybody else?
Did you work on the FY 22 and getting that reconciliation or true up for Centerville? Yeah,
No,
I'm kind of in the process because I did find a few things in the system,
right.
some templates for the true up. And I think that we're gonna have a meeting. I talked to Tina from Centerville And we have a meeting set up.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh, good.
preparing everything for
Chris.
that, so we have it already.
Okay,
Good.
because we can do FY 22 and then 23.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, we need to have a motion to approve the audit.
I move that we approve the audit and management's response for fiscal year fiscal year 23.
2023.
I second it.
All in favor?
All right. So I got the short version or the short version? What you got?
Short.
Short? All right. So, for the GM report, operations are stable and productive. We had the asphalt repairs, as you saw that out front, and the office paving completed. The backwash pond is, all the concrete's done. They're just touching up with some silicone and whatnot in the joints, so that's coming to an end. RCAC, the community income survey, and the SWRCB Water Resources Control Board coordination moving forward with grant eligibility. I'm working with Jim. We just sent an email to Safer. We're trying to meet with them in person to go over everything that's going on with the district to try and get things expedited. I haven't yet to hear back from them. RCAC, I just sent a letter to the state we have to get them to approve RCAC to do the median household income study. So I'm waiting on that. That was just sent out. We went over the audit. Staff held a local 792 meeting to maintain open communications with personnel and the union. Those are the main things. And let's see. Governance and regional coordination. I continue to maintain collaborative working relationships with neighboring agencies. That being Centerville, Bella Vista, all the above. In the coming weeks, I already did that. I'm trying to develop and finalize the main grade tracking and preventative maintenance framework so we can send those for RCAC and grants moving forward. And supporting preparation for the 218, Prop 218, and continue internal documentation improvements, aligning record keeping, compliance, and financial workflows. Closing note. We all continue to perform with professionalism, teamwork. We're at an all-time high with morale. Things are going great. Ongoing focus remains on leadership stability, clear communication, and building transparent systems that enhance accountability and operational readiness. Things are looking good moving forward.
And I talked to Emily and she said that you and Jim might be going down to Sacramento for some grants because things are really popping.
Yeah, the safer dashboard. So we would go down. I sent an email recommending to meet in person so we can tell them our story and how we need, to be moved up on the list per se, because the problem was they were under the impression we were at 75,000 median household income, which was not right, hence the RCAC study. So we're trying to expedite things by going down there and speaking to them in person. So I don't have a scheduled date yet, but the feelers are out and just waiting, so it's positive.
Great, good.
That's all I really have for the GM report. Things are going well. Okay. Fire.
You're saving me having to ask.
Yeah. I'm already getting everything ready with that. So we potholed. We obviously removed the old one, potholed. We have everything we need. It's just a matter of scheduling it and putting it in. We have the parts. We potholed. We know how deep it is. We know everything we're going to need. It should be a slam dunk. Just it's scheduling.
Wonderful.
Yay, fine.
And I think that they're scheduling it, I might be talking at the first part of December because I'll talk to you guys about it later. I asked Morgan some questions.
Yeah, and we're in communication. Everything looks good. No problems.
Okay. And we're gonna notify the
Yes.
neighborhood because we're gonna.
Yeah, and I had a gentleman come in and ask about it, but he didn't give me his name. But I told him the same thing. We're just right there.
Good.
Have everything we need.
Good deal.
Yes, and that's it for the GM report itself. I'll go into the admin numbers and treatment operation and distribution operation. If you guys have any other questions for the GM side. No, all right. So. Short, all right. Aging accounts, over 121 days, 223. Over 120 accounts. Over 90 days, there's 200 accounts delinquent. Over 60 days, 405 accounts. Where are we at? A total of 948 accounts of $130,000. 700, and that's for October, I'm sorry. November, 780 accounts, $116,000. Difference of 68 accounts. Water treatment plant operations. Treatment plant produced 283 acre feet of surface water. Clear Creek used 178 acre feet. 2,407 acre feet total stormwater for the working year, what was that? Water year 25-26. No well water production. Says staff's been busy with routine maintenance, monitoring, and operations of the treatment plant. We're producing 2 million gallons a day. We welcomed a worksite learning student named Angel Robinson. She was through Shasta College to get some contact hours. That went well. Okay. We had a power outage on 10/10 that caused an issue with the effluent valves opening and caused an NTU.
What's an NTU?
It's the way to determine how dirty the water is, essentially. And by state law, you have to be below a certain limit for water quality. So you're allowed to break this barrier, if you will, so many times, and we're well below it, but it did exceed one time, barely. Pond 2 update, I gave you that. We had a staff tour that went great with Centerville. Turbidimeter and automatic cleansing module, filter 1, those are parts we needed. We had the backflows all done. That's nothing. Okay, now on to distribution and operations.
Can we back up for just
Sure.
a second real quick?
Absolutely.
On the accounts.
Yeah.
Under administration, it said there were 207 accounts that are 121. Are those the accounts that are going to be turned over to collection? The 207? Or is there some of those they're still going to try to work on?
Yeah, these are just all the accounts we have over 121 days. Those
Right.
aren't necessarily the ones that would go to collections.
Okay, I wasn't sure how many of those were going to.
Yeah, I don't have that number.
115.
Yeah, it's on
115
the-
only?
Oh, 115.
So you're still working through some of the others?
Yes.
I went through every single account, yeah, so we're still working on those. It's like I said, we're in no hurry to do that to someone's credit.
Yeah, it's not true.
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Where are we at here? Distribution operations. Let's see, all of our repairs, as it states here, all of our repairs were done entirely in-house, which is good for us because contractors are expensive, as you all saw, and something to be proud of here. And they were 4-inch lines all the way up to 14-inch water mains. Shutdown and impacted approximately 400 customers and was resolved in less than 24 hours. Very good. All of our testing post-repair, meaning we have to pull samples after every repair, they all came up absent of coliform and E. coli, which is great. That's what we want. Let's see. We tested well 3. That was all successful. It's all in compliance. Backflow testing was completed.
Is that the customer's backflows?
I think that's all the ones that we're required to test by for the state. I don't know if that's.
Oh, okay. I know there's a certain number of customers who have backflow devices.
Yeah,
Pay a
I'm
monthly
not sure.
$5.
They're all the ones that we're
Okay.
responsible for. We have some training coming up for confined space and training, or excavation and trenching, risk assessments, meter reads going well. We had some training for excavator hands-on for the staff to get more familiar with the equipment so others can use it.
Are they gonna park an excavator here for us?
If we decide to rent one, but we're not gonna keep one on staff unless we're expecting an emergency.
Okay.
So not at all times.
Okay.
And that's all I got. Any questions?
And all the meters are done?
Yes.
No, the larger ones it says are.
Oh, for the large ones.
In December.
Oh, no, these are for the replacing these ones. But are you talking about the meter reading? The replacement? Then no, we still have some large meters we have in order end of December.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
Absolutely.
Sounds like no. Any board member items?
You want to go there instead of standing committee?
We can go standing committee. There's nothing much. Agriculture,
I have nothing to report.
planning, steering, finance.
Finance, we didn't meet since the last meeting, and so we'll meet in January with the 6-month review.
Personnel?
We haven't met.
Well, we did,
We did kind of informally, but.
yeah.
Okay, no Brown Act or anything like
No.
that.
And Centerville, we did meet with, Centerville, and it went wonderful. It was great to sit down and talk the way we were able to. I was just tickled. I mean,
Good.
What we kind of decided to do is let the managers hash out the fine tuning and then bring it back to the ad
Lot less
hoc.
stress.
Yeah, the ad hoc, because let me tell you, I went back through 5 years of audits. I went back and pulled as many as I could budgets. Here's one of the problems that that the Prop 218 committee is gonna have. I found, so it was either last year or the year before, Paul's end of year budget for end of June. I had a set number. 6 months later, he has modified it and it's a different number. And then you take a look at the number from the audit, because that was the 1 year that we finally had just finished. It's a cotton picking different number. So it's like, how are we supposed to even work with Centerville with them saying, well, you know, sometimes the numbers aren't correct. Well, they're absolutely correct. They're not correct. And so you're gonna find that problem when you start looking at data. Now, I understand why Paul amended what he did. And one of the reports that he sent to Centerville for that 22, or his was 21, for FY 21, was there were some things in there that weren't there. And the last 2 years, we had Paul pull out payroll. Payroll was already in the expenses for the plant in the previous years. So now you have to add that back in because it's not in there. So anyways, it was really frustrating trying to come up with the true numbers. Some of the things we did find too is that some of the things that we were told by a staff member were not correct. And that, you know, that they had hooked into the Muletown conduit erroneously or without being approved upon. And that was actually done back in the 80s from what they were saying. So it wasn't something that was new.
Was that the second connection or outlet for Centerville? That I know our chief con operator had talked about there being a separate one that wasn't necessarily metered or something?
Well, there's a turnout or something, I believe, before the 540 something or other building or whatever is up there. And that's where they then had separated it from there with the big meter, and then had separate little meters for those homes that were over there. So anyways, it was kind of eye-opening to see that some things weren't just quite factual. The acre foot deal is gonna be a big headache for Shireen to try to figure that out, because that has not been increased in the last 4 years.
And there's a
yeah,
chart for how that's
Yeah.
increases, isn't there?
yes.
Can you show that to me?
Yes, we came up with that, and then, but the problem with that is that they were wanting to do some stuff monthly, and there's a report that shows it monthly, but then the numbers don't ever jive with that either. So it's just, once we said, here you go.
But the other part is they agree, as we did, is that what it needs to be simplified, it needs to be written down for the next people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole process on how we bill them is crazy. It's just crazy. So, yeah, hopefully we can come up with a nice, easy, simple solution.
Good, sounds like it's progressing nicely.
Just a straight 50-50.
That won't happen.
Well,
As nice as it sounds.
they were up quite a bit, they were at 37% this month.
Yeah, according to the numbers, yep.
I'll report on the EAGSA meeting that was last week. We had a short meeting, short and sweet. The grant we're currently working on that covers the cost will expire, I believe, the end of March next year. We're hoping to expense out as much as they can of the 5-year report. And we've encouraged the city of Reading to look for continuing grants to cover the ongoing costs, so that our customers don't have to bear the burden of an unfunded mandate.
Yep.
It'll take years to get our designation as a medium at risk region, but I'm trying to work with them on some old USGS surveys and things to help us along the way. Anybody else? I'll move on to board member items. Beverly?
There's a mid-water users conference in January in Reno, held every year.
What is it?
It's
Mid-Pacific.
yeah, or is it, that's what it is?
Mid-Pacific,
Mid-Pacific Water Users Conference?
Okay.
And so have you gotten any information on that at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I've gone the last 2 years. It's
You
just,
might let Paul know, because he had every conference.
oh, that's true. Yeah, reach out to Paul.
Okay.
It's not too, the only problem is the weather, but, the fee isn't too much. I think it's less than 200. And I get a free.
Where's it at?
It's held at the Silver Legacy in Reno. But I get a comp room at the GSR, so I don't pay for my room. I just have the district pay for my gas. So, but anyways, I had recommended every time I've gone is that staff needs to go. So even if Morgan could go, that would be great, or Bill, or whoever. You know, it was just they have a lot of. I know they have a lot of plant people there, and it's a lot of Bureau of Reclamation people are at that meeting. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Never heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Paul will know all about it.
Yeah.
And anything coming up.
Yeah. Anything, Pam?
Are we on board items?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
So we got our contract signed with Carol's, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Were you able to find out if they had an answering machine or anything that could work instead of our answering service?
So I did not, because I did talk to Morgan about it, and the answering machine won't work, and actually it came up recently. The on-call phone was not answered, and so the answering service has everyone else's number in line, so it's like Morgan's next and, you know, Ben or,
Uh,
and it goes down line and they keep calling personal
Mhm.
cell phones until they get someone immediately.
Yeah, that's been.
And you have
So
to
that
think,
is an
I'm not
issue.
even saying the staff ignored it, it's even just reception depending
Okay,
on.
that's fine, then if we can't do it, we can't do it.
But
Yeah.
it won't be December because this meeting is too quick a turnaround for our next meeting.
3 weeks.
But I did find another answering service that's more reliable, better reputation and cheaper.
Good.
So I'm gonna bring that in January.
I don't know which organization it was, but if it's like a call out and there is an emergency and there's no answer, if they don't get anything, they can call like 911 or dispatch. And they can also have phone numbers then. So that's a possibility, just something to,
Okay.
I think search and rescue did that. If somebody had a emergency search and rescue.
Well, they are gonna hate us if we did that.
Yes.
Well, that's only if they can't get through, if we only had an answering machine.
Yeah.
That's all, just a thought.
They could charge you for that too.
Yeah.
That's a possible, search and rescue, they didn't charge, but because it's really under the auspice of the county. So that's possible. I was just trying to think, you know, my husband would get called all cotton picking time because he was on the list.
Director Lincoln. No.
For me.
Okay, then, last item I have is notification from legal on a couple of items. And one of those is, we approved at the last meeting that anybody could put anything on the agenda, but that included the public, and that's not the process. We have open time, and if they have something, it should be brought to us, and then the board decides if it has the worth to be on the agenda. Okay, so we need to make that adjustment to it.
Well, can we talk about that?
You betcha we can.
Is it illegal to have it done that way? That's my question.
No, and it doesn't say that anyone can just call us up and do it. So they come to public meeting, you guys vote, like, yes, let's bring that forward, like I spoke about last time. Board items is, hey, I wanna bring X, Y, and Z to the next meeting, you guys vote on it and approve it. The other way is, it's a small community, your neighbor or friend tells you, hey, I'm concerned about this, so you bring it forward to the board.
Yeah, and board members
That's
should be
what
able
it
to bring
is.
something.
It's equivalent of a protest letter, is a member of the public bringing something forward. So we can exclude it, or you're saying they can't do a protest letter. They'd have to come to public comment, ask you if they can do it, then you'd have to say yes to go on the next one. If you put that wording in there that they can't put anything on the agenda, because everything's up to date on, is what it is.
Yeah.
So he
I
meets
just-
with the public. So I wouldn't advise to adding anything that says the board can't. Or, I'm sorry, not the board, the public.
This was the legal opinion, though. The public may bring things up at a public comment, and then the board can decide at that point whether they would like to place on a future agenda. A member of the public could also raise an issue with one director who can request it. And
But we go by certain rules, that's the WERS rulings on it, and there is a different set of rulings, and that's what we go by. I personally like it the way it is. We're a small community. It goes better for us to be open and transparent.
I don't disagree, but if this is how the Brown Act that we follow reads, should we be getting ourselves on a slippery slope?
It's not anything to do with the Brown Act, like
Okay,
I spoke
fair
of last
enough.
time, putting things on the agenda.
But it
So-
seems to be written in somewhere that this is the procedure for a special district. Go ahead.
No, is there a problem? See, that's my issue, is that, sure, he said that, but if we are allowing customers to come in and do it on their own, we're not violating anything, we're actually expanding a customer being able to say, I have a problem, I want it on the
You're right.
agenda.
Until you get a disaffected customer who doesn't like the leaks or the water turn-offs, and finds out about this, and we have a 40-page agenda because someone's decided to have some fun with this, and I want this on the agenda, and I want it discussed, and I want this, and I want this, and this, and
The
this.
policy also
You know,
states that the
do
general
we-
manager decides.
There's gotta be some controls, is all I'm
So
asking.
There is
General
one,
manager
so-
decides.
Okay,
General
So-
manager, I like it the way it is, I don't want us to change it.
okay, fair enough. The other thing is, we were informed that the personnel committee should not sit in on interviews.
Right,
Okay.
and that's per legal.
Okay, so, we just want to make sure we're doing things right. We hired him, and it's not in his contract that says we can do that. And I think the optic of having that in place for a future general manager is not a good one.
Well, I'm fine with it, but the only thing I have to say is, are we gonna go to legal all the time and, first of all, run up the bill? Second of all, it becomes so legal that it stinks.
Okay, but we still have a responsibility to do things right. Okay?
Well, I don't think we've been doing them wrong. Maybe they're not just exactly what somebody wants, but it's.
So, yeah, Emily, can you come back with verbiage then to remove that? We had for the personnel committee for the rules and regs
Yep,
of what
Yes,
their thing was.
absolutely.
Yeah.
if that's not allowed, great.
And I think one of them said in there that.
May
If
be asked
the
by the
manager-
general
Yeah,
manager.
yeah.
And the lawyers say that it's just stepping on Dale's toes in non-legal, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
we-
basically, our
Yeah.
policy
It's
already
saying-
says that,
It's saying that the personnel committee should not sit in on the
because
interviews.
it's,
Right,
what about like a
You are the appointing authority,
appointing authority?
is
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
said, recommended. Or
see,
said.
I think the issue really came up was that Paul was leaving.
Mhm.
And I have never had a manager hire a subordinate when they know they're on the way out. And so we just wanted some safeguards
Sure.
of who he was hiring.
Mhm.
And my gosh, that went south. And so, it wasn't intending to step on anybody's
Yeah.
toes, but that's how it was perceived.
Gotcha. Okay.
I find no harm in allowing people to sit in on meetings or interviews because but whatever.
Well, it's just like, and one of the reasons I brought it up is when all of us have been on things where we've interviewed people, different people see different things, and it's always
Sure.
better to have maybe a second opinion about what they saw and you didn't. That was my only thing. But that's fine.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Anything else from any member? 8:25 PM, meeting adjourned.